They said that we'd grow out of it. Well, the joke's on them, that's just our brains. We're eccentric, loud, and stubborn, and most of our clothing is covered in stains. It's not a deficit of attention, there's just too much to think about. So if executive dysfunction becomes a little too much, if you forgot why you came in this room, or you're hypersensitive to touch, then put on your seamless socks and come join our little flock. Bitches stimming together, we're weirds of a feather. Weirds of a feather.
Caw-caw! Doo-dee-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee-dee-doo-dee-dee-doo-dee.
Da-da!
Some other musical stuff.
Did you get that out of your way?
Yes.
Okay.
It'll probably come up again, but I got one of them out of the
All
way.
right, there.
I'll try to tone it down on how many times I sing it, but I can't make any promises.
Okay.
It's wedged in my brain.
Deep in there.
Deep in there. Worse than Secret Tunnel.
Oh,
Secret tunnel. Secret tunnel. Through
the mountains. There's like two verses I can't
know.
remember. It's like literally the same thing. I can't remember it.
Secret tunnel, secret tunnel, secret tunnel, tunnel, secret tunnel,
Secret
tunnel. Wow, we're really harmonizing. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
welcome to Weirds of a Feather, an ADHD-Adjacent podcast. I'm your host, Grace.
And I'm your host, Kristin. By the time this episode is released, it's going to be December, which only means one thing.
Hell yeah, warm socks.
Okay, it means two things. The season of warm socks and the season of consumption and consumerism. Yay!
Woohoo.
Woo! Here in America and most other predominantly Christian countries, the quote, Christmas season, and I'm doing air quotes, you just can't see them,
She is.
has been capitalized by companies and corporations to tap into your sense of goodwill and make you buy things for the appearance of being a better person. I can personally attest to the fact that this works. I love giving gifts on Christmas. Is there a more stressful yet better feeling than finding the perfect gift for a friend? What a rush.
Yeah, I can think of quite a few things.
Okay, you're probably right. I was pretty happy when I refound my favorite chapstick, which I have now lost again. But anyway, what does this mean for the ADHD community? Grace?
Well, as you can imagine, a group of people that have reduced impulse control and low dopamine are going to have a difficult time with impulse buying and overspending. Also, you would think that receiving gifts gives you a huge rush of dopamine, which it does, but buying gifts for people also gives us dopamine. So, like with anything, ADHDers are we kind of have extreme personalities, you might say. We're very all or nothing. So I either struggle to buy people gifts or I go way overboard with it. I'm like, I need to buy all of these things for everyone. And then I'm like out of control buying way too many things. So we wanted to talk a little bit about how to curb this overspending, how to work on buying people gifts this season. Whether you have ADHD or not, these are good tips, but especially if you have ADHD, this is something we really struggle with. It takes a lot of executive functioning to figure out how many people you have to buy gifts for, what you should buy them. What are other things on that list? What else do you have to figure out?
If you need to like bake any holiday baking things.
What levels of gifts you buy for different people.
Right. How much are you willing to spend on someone?
What should you spend on other people?
A lot of executive function, getting your Christmas cards out in time.
Yes, that's a difficult one. We struggle with a lot of these tasks, and then once you're in the store, we also have trouble with the dopamine of spending. And also, I find that when I'm spending for other people, I tend to also buy things for myself. So the holidays just mean more time in stores usually. We have an article about this impulsivity in ADHD. We're not going to read it to you because we don't have the time, but we wanted to at least include it, and then you guys can go through and read it. It's very helpful. There are clinical reasons for why ADHDers overspend and impulse buy, and I find that the more we understand why we're doing these things, the less we beat ourselves up over them, and the easier it is to put some strategies in place. So I found a great article by Dr. Russell Barkley. He's one of the leading experts on ADHD.
Yeah, Russ.
And he
Dr. Russ Bark. It's his nickname.
Yep, we're very close with him.
Yep.
And he has ADHD himself, which is why I think he's a great resource. I don't like hearing about ADHD from outsiders. So he does a very good job with his research. And he has an article in Attitude magazine titled How to Hit Pause on ADHD Impulsivity. And in this article, he talks about exactly why we struggle with impulsiveness in spending and in blurting things out that we don't mean to say. And then he gives some practical tips on how to manage our impulsivity around all of these things.
You really love Attitude magazine.
I do.
I
It's
feel
a great
like you
resource.
talk about it every episode.
I think that Attitude magazine is one of my ADHD hyperfocuses.
It's a good one, though.
But I just want to learn
It's
more and
nice.
more and more about my brain.
Yeah.
And it's a great resource. You
Well,
know
you got
that.
a great brain. Lots of learning to do on that brain.
Thank you. I'm just glad that it's taking me down a path that is helpful, and I'm not hyper focusing in on, I don't know, one of the many ridiculous time sucks.
Farrier TikTok. Have you been on Farrier TikTok yet?
No, I don't
Do
know.
you know what a farrier is?
I feel like you've talked about it before.
Yeah, I have, because I'm on Farrier TikTok. It's very addicting. It's the people who trim horse hooves.
Yes, you have talked about this before. And that's a perfect example of what I'm talking about.
That's a bad outlet.
At least my obsession with Attitude magazine is I'm actively learning things from legitimate resources that are about my own
I'm learning
brain.
lots. It's not that I'm not learning.
But
it's,
are you putting that knowledge into use in any way?
Absolutely
other
not.
than talking about it
No.
on this podcast for some reason?
It's good knowledge, but it's just not useful to me. But
It
I
is
have
knowledge that
it
you
is
do
knowledge.
have.
Yeah.
We will include the link to that article in the show notes under resources. Check it out. He does give some good tips on, just how to go into stores with a game plan. Don't rely on your impulse control because we don't have it.
Make a list.
Yep.
Don't lose that list.
Yep. And also make sure a big part of managing our impulsivity is making sure you are self-regulated, which means taking care of all your bodily needs before you go to the store. Make sure that you've eaten recently, that you have had water, that you're bringing water, that you've peed, that you're not tired or fussy that day, because all of those things make it so much harder for us to have impulse control. And we already struggle with that. So don't make it harder on yourself than it has to be.
It's like when you go to the grocery store hungry.
Oh.
And you end up buying just I did that the other day. I bought cookies and chocolate hummus. And then I was like, wow, I have nothing to eat for dinner. Glad I spend an hour at the store that I have to go back to.
You followed that dopamine, though.
No, I just ordered takeout. It's good.
Smart. Good plan. Yeah, so we tend to follow dopamine all the time, but especially when we're dysregulated, we're looking for that dopamine anywhere we can get it. And ooh boy, does buying stuff give us dopamine hits. So just be aware of that. Try to self-regulate as much as you can before you hit the shops. Kristin, why don't you share some of your responsible buying tips with us?
Yeah, I get a few. We're a country of consumerism, but there are a couple of ways to kind of rein that in a little bit. Not all of your money has to go to Jeffrey Bezos. Here's some tips. 1, shop small business. This is great. Etsy is technically not a small business, but there are a lot of great artists there that you can go to. And Etsy is especially great for ADHDers because you can have gifts sent directly to that person. So it's not like you get it in the mail and then you have to wrap it and do something and then get it to that person. That's so many steps. So 10 out of 10 for Etsy. Yes, does a small cut go to this big corporate company of Etsy? Yeah, but it works out. Craft fairs are also a nice one, or just your local businesses, all great to go to. Local businesses is my next one. Oh my gosh. What a transition. It wasn't. But shop locally. Like I said, not all your money has to go to Amazon. I'm getting most of my gifts from LL Bean this year, which is local to me.
Technically local.
It fits the bill. But they also have online shopping, so that's great. You can do homemade gifts, and I know this one's hard. This year, my boyfriend and I agreed to do this. We're going to make gifts for each other, and I'm kind of kicking myself because he's a sculpture artist, and I have trouble drawing stick people. So I hope he's ready to be disappointed. He's going to get one heck of a stick person.
You know what? He'll love it, though.
He will. He's a nice person.
He is.
Yeah.
He knows what to expect.
Yeah.
Also, coming up in this episode for hobby collectors, we will cover some relatively easy crafts and homemade gifts that you can make for people if you are self-conscious about your stick drawings.
I'm going to have to take notes on that one. Another thing you can do is offer to perform a service.
Oh.
Yeah. This is not supposed to be sexual, but now that I say it, it sounds super sexual. So offer to perform a service and not, I mean, I get, anyway, okay. Do something for someone. There's no other way I can say this without having it sound sexual. But examples include help like shovel off someone's roof, driveway, or sidewalk. Do that for neighbors. That's a great gift for neighbors. You can deep clean your mom's entire first floor. You can offer to help a friend with a difficult task.
For some ADHDers, it seems easy to do these executive functioning tasks when we're doing them for other people as opposed to doing them for ourselves. Isn't that funny how that works? So some of you may be able to do those things for other people that you can't seem to do for yourself, but also you might not be able to. So don't set yourself up for failure and shame by adding another task onto your to-do list if you don't think you'll realistically be able to get to it. Just make them a stick drawing instead.
Yeah.
They'll love it.
We'll be like, oh, good, great.
Great, I'll put this on my fridge.
Into the fire.
But at least you gave them a gift and you didn't have to shovel their roof.
Right. Yeah, that's hard. I don't know. Have you ever shoveled a roof before, Grace?
No, and I don't plan to.
Yeah. Last tip is you can give the gift of an experience. So like taking a friend hiking or giving your best friend the gift of interpretive dance. And now for interpretive dance, I didn't know, do you count that as a gift, experience, or service? I think it could go under all three.
I think it's all of them.
Yeah.
All wrapped up in one.
Yeah. Guess what I'm getting you for Christmas?
I was going to say, I'm guessing that is what I will be receiving based on the way you're looking at me.
Ooh, it's a gift.
It is a gift.
Bring some popcorn.
I'm excited for this gift.
And if you want to know more about consumerism, I got a couple of TikToks to follow if you're on the Tickety Talk. One is Prof. Sarah Grace. These are all going to be in the show notes. She's a marketing PhD on consumer behavior, and she's pretty cool. Has a lot of good things. She uses a lot of examples of different companies. The other one is Tall Psychology, which is a guy named Eric. He's also a marketing PhD student in consumer behavior. And he takes frequent polls and has lots of live discussions about consumerism. They're both really interesting to follow, and I highly suggest it.
Good name drops.
It's in the show notes.
Read our show notes. I work very hard on them.
I know you do.
So hard. Too hard.
It's all right.
No one reads them.
I read them.
Thank you. It's all worth it.
I read them because they're on the Instagram thing.
Yeah, you have to. I force it down your throat. All right, before we get into our segments, we also just wanted to talk a little bit about how to buy for ADHDers in your life. I know that we can be kind of difficult to buy presents for. Our interests are usually always changing, or we struggle to do things that have been given to us because we didn't choose them. They were given to us, and now it's an assignment,
right?
Which doesn't make sense, but that's how our brains work.
Or we have poor impulse control, and then we buy everything. So we're like, what do you buy for the person who has everything?
Yep, that's exactly what my sister says. She says, don't buy me anything. If I want something, I'll just buy it.
Yeah. That's why you got to give her the gift of the interpretive dance.
Oh, yeah. Lily, look out. I have you for Secret Santa. Lucky you.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm not part of your Secret Santa. I'm just going to show up.
I don't actually have her for Secret Santa, but you know what? I'm going to give her that gift anyways. She's going to hate it. But you said you didn't want anything, so
yeah, this is what you get.
You're getting an experience that you'll never forget. All right, how to buy for ADHDers. 1, nothing that will add a new project or task onto our plates. Things like masterclass or books that we haven't mentioned and didn't ask for. These immediately become assignments, and now someone's giving it to us. So now we have this added guilt of they're going to be asking if I've read the book they gave me. Obviously, there are exceptions to this. Not all ADHDers are the same, especially if people are bookworms. I'm sure there are people who love receiving books. But for us, personally, it's the second someone gives me something, now it's an assignment, and now my brain is like, I don't want to do that. Even if it's something I do want to do, no, won't do it.
Yeah, I have a stack of half-read books. I get about halfway, and then I'm like, on to the next. So I think I have about 7 books that are halfway read. So
yep,
I know most of it. I just don't know the endings.
Yeah,
so.
I never finish books. Yeah, I wish I did. But wouldn't that be nice?
I wish I was one of those people who read and finished books, but I'm not. This is me.
Try not to put too much stuff on our plates for a gift. Also, nothing that we have to take care of. Once again, too much pressure. And this includes pets and plants.
There's an exception to the rule. If you're buying a plant for a said plant person, that plant has to be on their plant wish list. And that can get expensive. But don't buy a plant for someone who doesn't like plants. I keep giving Grace plants. She doesn't even like plants, but
I do like plants. I just don't like the
plants I
caretaking
give
pressure.
You. That's why I take care of them.
Because I've been able to, Kristin comes over, and every time she comes over, each week she waters my plants and checks them and grooms them.
Because I've run out of room in my apartment for plants, so I need more. I can't wait till you get a house. Ooh, man, I'm going to fill that thing with plants. You don't even know.
I'm excited as long as you're also going to care for them
every week.
I like plants. I just don't like the responsibility of taking care of them. But that's a gift in itself. If you're going to buy a plant for someone, also go over to their house every week and take care of
Sometimes twice a week. If it's a bonsai, you're going to be over there every day.
Or a very, very, very easy starter plant and give very explicit instructions on how to care for this plant. That
Get them
might
a pothos once a week, watering, you're fine.
Yes. So, like all of these, there are some exceptions to the rules, but in general, especially not pets.
Yeah.
God, we can't handle killing a turtle that you gave us for Christmas. Please don't put that on us.
Who gives turtles for Christmas? Out of all the pets you could give, you're going to give someone a turtle?
I know. It lives for so long, but I don't know. That's just an example. I feel
Goldfish.
No, that's
just
another one you can kill.
No pets.
Yes. Let's say no pets.
No pets.
All right. 3, nothing that is for a new hobby that you thought we might want to pick up, or even one that maybe we mentioned offhandedly in the past. Like I said, we don't like to be told what to do, even if it's a fun thing. Now you've assigned it to us, and our brains will reject it. We usually have to go with the flow and follow our passions and kind of have to be inspired, and then we get really into something. And also, the thing that we mentioned offhandedly was probably just a whisper into the wind. And maybe that was 30 hobbies ago that I mentioned that I might want to take up ice sculpting or whatever.
And one day I'll get into juggling.
Yes. So if it's a hobby we're already actively doing, that's one thing. But if it's just something we mentioned of oh, wouldn't it be fun if I got into this? We probably forgot about it the second it left our mouths, and don't count on us now following through on that. 4.
Yep.
All right. We have a few more. So
number next.
Yes, number next. Something weird. Something that we don't already have. For example, for my birthday this year, Kristin got me a beaver skull from an antique shop.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
And I loved it.
I know you do.
I have it on display in the pod loft.
It's in the pod loft.
Now we'll post a picture of it.
Yeah.
So something weird and unique. A sensory anything, a sensory toy, fidget toys, comfy socks.
Comfy socks are the best. And you can't go wrong.
I know.
Who is upset by comfy socks?
I love comfy socks.
The only, exception to the rule, the comfy socks that have, the individual toes.
I knew you were going to say that. I hate that.
Someone got me, so here's a personal story. Someone got me these for Christmas one year when I was 7. And I really wanted to like them because they were so comfy, but I had so much anxiety about my individual toes being individualized that I just cried about it for a day. My mom didn't even know how to console me. I was so confused. Anyway.
My toes don't like being apart.
My toes need to be together
at all times.
We're all friends.
Oh, and those really thick fuzzy ones. I know Gracie hates that feeling of the, what is that? Super, super fluffy, soft material.
Yeah. It's almost Sherpa, but not.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this one is difficult because we all have different sensory needs.
Right.
So,
but a nice pair of the smart wools are always nice.
Yeah.
Bean's got great socks.
And then a cozy blanket or a weighted blanket. Ooh. That's always good. Self-care gifts like a massage, manicure, pedicure, but the thing about this is offer to book it for us. That is the gift in itself. If you just get us a gift certificate, most of us will not actually get to scheduling it. We hate making phone calls. Some ADHDers probably like making phone calls. I can't imagine. But booking things and scheduling things is really difficult for a lot of us. So if you are going to get us an experience or something like that, offer to book it for us. That would be an awesome gift in itself. And check and see if they already have a place that they like and have gone to before. It's much less stressful, and we're more likely to do it if we already know the expectations of that place and we know the routines and the rules of what it'll be like when we get there.
This is why interpretive dance is such a great gift.
It's so simple.
So simple. It can be done at any time. You can schedule that whenever.
You can plan it out ahead of time or just kind of
spontaneous
move your body with the flow. You can take something off of our plates, like taking care of our dog for the day, make a phone call for us, go grocery shopping with us or for us, help us tackle a doom pile, organize a closet.
Ooh.
Any of those would be huge gifts that I know I would personally love to receive.
I think you took this right off my Christmas list that I wrote to Santa.
Yeah,
except for the dog.
I'm Santa.
Take care of Snickers for the day. She's such a handful.
Always hiding under the bed and not making a peep. Right, and my last suggestion before we go into segments is a subscription to Attitude Magazine. There it is again.
I'm so surprised that this made it to the list.
Sponsored by Attitude Magazine. I'm just kidding. They would never sponsor us. They're like a legitimate source. But I don't know. I've learned so much from Attitude Magazine. You can trust that they're using, peer-reviewed research. It's not just people saying, I think that this is what ADHD is like. They're actually using research, and
it's not TikTok research either.
Yeah, it's not TikTok research. So, yeah, and a subscription to Attitude Magazine. I know that some of us have trouble actually reading magazines once we get them, but, at least the gesture is there, and maybe they'll read it, maybe they won't, but it's a good gift either way.
All right.
And on that note, shall we transition?
Yes. I have no words. Transition.
Shall we engage in a song?
Only if that song's followed by a dance.
Okay. You won't be able to see it, but you'll know it's there.
It's a lot of shoulders.
Yeah, we're moving our shoulders quite a bit. Just close your eyes and use your imaginations. Ready? Listen.
Ready. I hope they hear like the jostling of my shoulders.
Yeah.
It's a lot of
whoa. Little accomplishments, but big in our hearts.
I messed that up. That's
like
okay.
10 words. It's our shortest song by far. It's okay.
I'll get there one day.
Yeah. All right, for my little accomplishment this week, Ian and I just celebrated our 7-year anniversary, 7 years of dating.
Woo!
And I actually booked us an Airbnb for the weekend to do a little getaway. We always talk about doing this, but we both really struggle to actually get it together to plan something and then follow through on it. So this year, I actually did it, and I'm pretty proud of myself for not just talking about it once again.
Nice. Where'd you go?
We went to Vermont. We stayed in a geodesic dome.
Ooh, okay, that's super cool.
Vermont. Yeah, it was like beautiful and snowy. There was an outdoor hot tub. It was super cool. Wood stove. Ian did not plan ahead. I'm calling you out, pal. He did not put snow tires on his truck because it wasn't snowing in Maine, but we should know how weather works.
Especially in New England.
Yes. Yeah,
which is
Vermont.
Prepare for all weather at all times.
Yes, especially in Vermont. So when we hit the Vermont border, it was heavily snowing and we almost died, but we didn't.
You're here.
We're here. We survived just like we always do.
There you go.
And it was very representative of our relationship. So many times we have almost died and didn't prepare for something, but then it all worked out. So
yeah. Just like that time we went camping in Bandon.
Yeah, that's
a great
example. Yeah, it's a great example of when we didn't prepare and plan ahead. Yep. But you know what? It worked out. Here we are.
There we are.
Yep.
All right.
There we go. So, yeah, I accomplished that.
Well, good. I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds lovely.
Kristin, what'd you accomplish?
I call this failing upwards. So I needed more like notepad paper for grocery lists and stuff and just like writing notes to myself. And I write a lot of notes, lots of stickies on my work desk, but I needed like a notepad specifically for grocery lists. And instead of buying like a regular pad of paper, I don't know how I did this, but I bought like a check pad. Like, you know what? You go to a restaurant and they write like an old diner and they write your order on the thing. And then they like
a server pad.
Yeah, like a little server pad, and it had a carbon copy. And then so now I'm like, well, what the heck am I going to do with this? It's like, I don't know what I can do with this. I don't know. I'm just like kind of mad because now not only do I not have a notepad for grocery lists, I have an extra thing that I'm not going to want to throw away because I feel like that's wasteful.
And you're not going to return it.
I'm not going to return
crazy.
it. Yeah. I'd like to return this $2 guest check pad. I was kind of like kicking myself, but then my boyfriend and I, more so the boyfriend than me, he's a creative type. We realized that you can write your grocery list on the check pad because it's like numbered and everything has lines. And then one of us gets the carbon copy, one of us gets the original. Oh. We split up, get the shopping done in half the time. Or if one of us loses the list, which is a thing that happens often, there's a backup. It worked so well.
That really worked out.
So well. It's like stupid that I haven't come up with this. It worked so well. Anyway, I recommend it.
Accidental ADHD life hack.
Yeah. Failing upwards.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yay. That is a very good life hack, actually.
Yeah. I'm going to take a picture of it. I got to write down, I think right now on my grocery list, it's like cheese sticks.
Gotta have
chip
those cheese
clips,
sticks.
And spreadable butter. He made sure to underline the spreadable because I keep buying the sticks of butter. You just write butter there. I'm going to buy a stick of butter.
Get the Land O'Lakes with the canola oil.
Is that
tub.
the best? I've been getting
it spreads really well even when it's cold.
With the canola oil?
Yes.
Okay. I'll have to make a note of that. I'll have to add it to the list.
Add it to the list.
I'll make a sidebar under spreadable butter. This episode brought to you by butter. Specifically with canola oil.
Yes. Thank you to our sponsor, Butter. All right.
Ready?
Speaking of butter.
What?
I don't know. I was trying to do a transition.
It's
a non sequitur. Speaking of butter, it's time for I'm So Quirky.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, is Lucy down here?
I think she can hear me unzipping.
She knows. She's probably on high alert.
I gotta get a carrot.
Keep her busy with a carrot. Some people call me spacey, some people call me fun, but I'm just quirky.
Nothing. We got nothing from her.
What's she doing?
I don't know.
Letting her guard down. All right, cool.
I thought
maybe she's accepted the kazoo into her heart.
Yeah, she's like, this is, well, now I've spilled a carrot on the floor that I'd like her to get.
Yeah, she'll find it.
All right.
All right.
Secret carrot.
Secret carrot on
through
the floor.
Secret carrot.
Secret carrot. Secret carrot.
Yeah.
Carrot. Secret carrot. At least we think we're funny. We make each other laugh, and that's what matters.
That's the Christmas spirit.
Yep. Is it?
All right, I
Kristin,
got some quirks.
You're so quirky.
I'm
Tell
so
us.
quirky. Okay. Are you ready for these quirks?
Lay 'em on me.
Okay. I like to write my notes while jamming out to EDM. My Spotify playlist is EDM classics in all caps. And it's just like the...
Classics? How far back does it go? 2007?
Yeah. Makes you feel really old when it's a classic. And you're like, oh, I remember this in college.
I was a senior in high school, yeah.
Yeah, you're like, oh, no, I'm old. Instead of becoming a jar goblin where you collect used jars thinking that you'll use them for a project later that never happens, I become a plant pot goblin where I collect plant pots for planting plants that I will never have and propagating plants that I will never do. So now I just have all these but what if I need it?
I do that with picture frames. I have 30 picture frames that I've bought and I want to put art in them, but I don't.
I'm going to have so many pictures.
Yeah, one day.
You got to get some pictures.
Well, maybe we should just shift our thinking where now you're not collecting pots for plants, you're collecting the pots. The pots themselves are the hobby.
But they're like little nursery pots that are plastic.
Oh.
Most of them. Some of them, I have a lot of bonsai pots, which means I got to get more bonsais.
True that.
Actually, we've had a lot of deaths this winter. It's been heartbreaking. We'll talk about it later on our NYE.
A harsh winter.
Yeah. And do I have one more?
Yep.
Oh, I got one. I'm getting a better hold of my anxiety depression. Yay, medication. But I have always used my anxiety as a maladaptive coping mechanism to get all my tasks done. So now that my anxiety is better, I can't finish any of my tasks or notes or anything. And I'm constantly behind at work.
Yay.
I'm so quirky.
You're so quirky.
Yay.
Yeah, you're really just kind of raw dogging it through life using that anxiety to fuel your ADHD.
It worked. Kind of.
Technically, yes.
Technically, yes. I got the things done, and now nothing's done. Grace, do you have some quirks for us?
Oh, I've got quirks. I like to indoor rock climb listening to Yo-Yo Ma. Yo-Yo Ma. Specifically, Cello Suite No. 1 in G major, because duh, I have taste.
Not D minor?
No, G major.
Okay.
Over and over and over on repeat, usually.
That's an interesting choice. I would have picked D minor.
It really did. Well, that's where you and I differ.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really just speaks to my soul and my heart. And also, I just perseverate on the song and listen to it over and over.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gets the job done. 2, I am extremely particular about lighting, and I am constantly making very small adjustments to the lighting in every single room that I enter.
You know what you need? One of those. Have you ever seen those old lamps that you touch and they dim?
Oh, yeah. We have one of those somewhere in the house.
You got to get all of your lights have to be touch dim lights.
Well, when I get a house, I'm planning to have every single light bulb in my house be one of those Bluetooth bulbs where I can choose the color of it, the dimness of it, the brightness of it, because I'm so particular about lighting. It has to be just right. Otherwise, it hurts my soul.
I'm going to steal your phone and change all your lights to a weird green or something.
Better than bright white.
Oh.
Actually, that's a good ADHD or a good gift for ADHDers is changeable light bulbs, right? That goes in with the sensory gifts, things that we can adjust.
Yeah, but that sounds like a task. They have to set up a light bulb.
But it might be worth it if they really, really care about lighting. So that's the thing with ADHD. We're all so different because we we're very, very motivated to do the things that we care about. So you have to make sure that we care about it. And then we have all the motivation in the world. Otherwise, if we don't care about it, we won't get it done.
Don't buy me light bulbs. I'll buy my own light bulbs.
Buy me light bulbs, please. But only if they're adjustable. Don't force your daylight bulbs on me. All right, my third quirk. Someone stole my identity right after we moved to Oregon.
Oh my
and
God.
they used it to buy like a cable package in Massachusetts.
Wait.
Yeah, they like started a cable service in Massachusetts.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
They could have bought worse things.
Yeah, I guess. And I was so overwhelmed with work. I had just started working at the school in Oregon, and I was just so overwhelmed with work that I didn't really know what steps I even had to take to deal with this whole identity thing. And so I just kind of didn't do anything about it for a few months. And I still don't actually know if I ever fully fixed that problem.
So there could be a guy in Massachusetts who has a cable package under his name, under your name.
Yeah, absolutely. There could be.
No?
What's up? I hope you're enjoying your cable.
Gregory.
Yeah, Gregory.
His name's probably Gregory.
Yeah, he seems like a Gregory.
Sounds like something a Gregory would do.
That's so Gregory.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also, guys, please don't steal my identity. I know I just told you that it would be easy to do, but that was back then. I've really grown and changed a lot. And
you steal her identity, you're going to have to deal with me.
Yeah.
And I don't like making phone calls either.
So we'll bring in a third person to make phone calls for us, and then you better watch out. We're coming for you. Yeah, I may not be able to fix it myself, but those around me might help me. So please don't steal my identity, guys.
Also, that's just like a shitty thing to do. Don't steal identities.
Yeah, don't do it in general, but especially
Get
not
your
to me.
own identity.
Yeah. Have your own identity. Have your own thoughts, So I'm so quirky.
Yeah. Transition. Do you want to do our next segment?
Yes, I do.
All right.
All right, shall we collect some hobbies?
These are the collectors, and these are their hobbies.
Holiday
edition. We did it!
Yay!
Woo!
Oh, man, that was beautiful keyboard playing.
Yeah, that was a work of art.
Yeah, we're musicians.
Mm-hmm. This hobby collector is going to kind of be like homemade things you can make for other people, or just like unique holiday gifts you can get people.
Yeah, there's so many
or yourself. So.
Yeah, there's so many hobbies that I've picked up for like maybe a month or two or a season, made a bunch of gifts with them, and then, okay, now that's done, lost that hobby.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, they're kind of quick little hobbies that you could pick up. They're pretty easy to learn. They're kind of, somewhat easy to bang out a bunch of gifts with. So my first one for that is loom knitting.
Ooh, that sounds fancy.
It's not. It's like at Michael's at midnight, or any Michael's, regular Michael's, or Michael's at midnight. They're like those plastic looms that you see that have like all the little pegs in them. They come in like circle shapes or longer shapes to make scarves.
Wait, I've seen these before.
Yeah. Yeah, they're like brightly colored, and they're kind of like a child's version of knitting.
I was thinking of like those huge looms where you like weave things and then you do like the and then it's, like in a factory.
Yeah, make someone a factory rug. Get into factory textiles. So the looms are really easy. You don't really have to learn how to actually knit. It's a lot of like, you loop your yarn through the pegs, and then you're just kind of like, swoop, you have your little tool, and you're just kind of like, I don't know. I literally don't know how to put this into words, and I'm using my hands, and this isn't helpful for a podcast. But I don't know. Look it up. It's really not that hard, though. You're just kind of making little loops with the yarn, and then you can make hats with it. You can make scarves. I went through a big phase with this. A mitten? No.
Oh.
So don't even think about it. No, that's too complicated. Let's not get crazy.
Okay.
But the hats are, a hat would take me maybe like 3 hours to make.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. You can get good at it pretty quickly because there's not a ton of skill to learn. You can, customize it for people and have fun choosing different colors of yarn. And that can be, a season or two, and those are your gifts. And then, boom, all done. So that one's a nice one to pick up.
Yeah.
I also went through a phase of making homemade candles. That's another good gift that you can make that really doesn't take that much skill to make. I really enjoyed going to like secondhand stores and finding cool little cups. Like I found a bunch of really cute little teacups.
I think you made me a teacup candle.
I did.
I really like that.
Thank you. Yeah, that one. Yeah, those are great to make because I always find these cute little teacups and I don't know what to do with them. So I don't know, put a candle in it. And you can just buy like the soy wax and some scents and get the wicks and melt it down. And those are
Bada bing, bada boom, you got a candle.
boom,
Boom, candle.
candle in your face.
Teacup candle. We got mug candles.
Ooh, a mug candle. That's a
Ooh.
good idea.
We got odd pot candle.
Ooh, like vase candles. What are other shapes? That's enough
A
shapes.
strange box.
Yes.
Well, not cardboard.
I mean, you get the
It's a
idea.
fire hazard.
Yes. You don't put in anything that's flammable. I think it should be
That's
common sense, but apparently it's not.
No, you got to say these things.
All right. Yeah. Don't use anything that will be set on fire. But any type of like porcelain or ceramic is great. And then you can make little candles, and that's a really nice little gift. You can also make collage art. Like I make my weird collage art. Kristin,
I love your collage
I've also
art.
made you a collage art of a Get Your Nut.
I have it on my, if I had a desk, it would be there. Oh, I do have a desk at work. I don't think it's work appropriate.
Yeah. Yeah. So collage art is a really kind of easy way to show off your creativity and make things very personalized. I get these little books that like are for, making collage art with. They're not, what's it called? With like license free.
Stock footage. Stockholm syndrome.
No. There's Stockholm syndrome.
Yes.
Yes. Collage art is great because you have like a starting place where you have this little like picture that you cut out of a book or magazine or whatever, as long as it's not someone else's art, license free stuff. And then you can add whatever you want. I like to add like flowers and mushrooms and a weird little quote. And then boom, you got some art, put it in one of those 30 frames that you're keeping in your closet. And then you can use up your frames. 2 for 1.
It's a 2 for 1.
Yeah.
It's perfect.
Yep. And another good holiday gift, especially for kind of more acquaintances, if you feel like you want to make gifts, for your neighbors or whatever, is cookies. Cookies.
Everybody likes cookies.
Everybody likes cookies. Some people don't like cookies, but we're not friends with those people.
Yeah.
Anyone that we're going to be hanging out with likes cookies.
Yeah.
So cookies are also another kind of easy thing that you can make for other people.
When I meet a new person, the first thing I ask them is hey, you like cookies? And they go, yeah. And I go, okay, you were right.
Yes, that's the correct answer.
If they say, nah, cookies are my thing. And I'm like, oof, red flags.
Bye.
See you never.
All right.
I've got some
Kristin, what do you
ideas. I know we said don't give plants to people unless it's that exception to the rule. But you can also, if they're a plant person, you get them a plant that they want that they specifically asked for. You can put it in a unique container. You can put it in if it fits in like a mug or they have plenty of things at the plant places. I have one that's it's a little man head with a mustache, and I put a spider plant in it so it looks like he's got wacky hair.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
fun.
a wacky gift.
Wacky gift to myself.
The person who will most appreciate it.
No, I was going to give it to someone else, and I was like, I like this too much.
I do that with a lot of things I make. I'm like,
and then
keeping
Snickers
this.
ate half the plant, so it's but it's okay because it's a spider plant. You can do peppermint bark, which is, I don't know if you've ever made, have you made peppermint bark?
I was with Haley when she made it
Yeah.
once. I
You
observed.
basically, you melt milk chocolate or dark chocolate and then white chocolate, and then you put them on a cookie sheet with parchment paper, and then you do a row of milk chocolate, a row of white chocolate, and then row, and then you swirl them together so it's all swirled, and then bang, 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 you chop up the peppermints, you get candy canes, you get a
mallet.
I was going to say baton.
It's a little extreme. You get your baseball bat.
And then you crumble them up into little tiny pieces. You sprinkle them on there, and you put it in the fridge, and then it comes out as one big sheet of chocolate. And then you just break it up, put it in little containers, and bam, you've got little gifts. That's good for work people that you don't care about.
All the people who you work with who are receiving peppermint bark this year are going to be like, what the fuck?
You give me peppermint bark, you asshole.
You just said this for people you don't care about. Yeah, that's a great gift suggestion. Good idea.
Now I can't make peppermint bark for a while. I actually really like peppermint bark. It's yummy.
I do too. I would be happy to receive it.
But I care about you, so you won't.
I'll get that damn interpretive dance. Yay.
That's only for special friends.
Lucky me.
The other thing I was going to suggest is if you print out a photo for someone, you can use Rite Aid or Walmart has like those printing things, and then you get that photo, like especially if it's a special one, but they posted it to like Facebook and they don't have like a hard copy. Print that shit, put it in a frame, give it back to them. They did the work for you.
Boom.
Boom.
I think there's even services where you can have them do that whole thing where they'll like frame it to you and then send it out.
Photo Market.
No.
They closed down. I'm really sad about it.
Yes,
Ready?
they did.
Photo Market, Maine's largest camera store, except not anymore.
All right.
I'm really sad about that. I'm like reliving that trauma. Like I heard they went out of business and I was like, no.
When was the last time you went to Photo Market though?
I went to Photo Market once and it's like floor ceiling, just boxes of stuff.
Wow.
And the guy, I was like, I need this. He's like, oh, right in the back. And it's just like 10 minutes of like him like digging for things. And then he comes out, like he like pops out like a little, like a meerkat coming out of a hole. He's like, I got it. And I was like, wow, I'm having a lot of anxiety being here. But he seems like a nice guy.
Well, that's why they're out of business.
Yeah.
All right. And those are our hobbies.
Ooh, that was a fun transition, guys.
Grace, it's now time for alternative segments.
Alternative!
This week's alternative segment is Little Ditties. It's just a little ditty, a little hot feeling that you may or may not have. Grace, what's your little ditty?
Oh, I am fired up about this.
Fired up. Let's hear it.
I strongly believe that all grocery stores should come with maps of
Oh my
where
gosh.
everything is.
Oh my gosh.
Right? It would make everything so much easier. You have a nice visual. You can plan it out, take it home with you, really map it out like Home Alone style, where you're like, I'll hit this aisle, then that aisle.
My gosh.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's my little ditty.
That's a great ditty. I think all stores should have that.
Yes.
IKEA.
Visual
Oh my
supports.
gosh.
Oh, IKEA
I can't
especially.
go in there. Yeah, that's a great idea. Little ditty.
All right, this has been Little Ditties.
Little ditties.
In alternative
segments.
All right.
Sometimes I'm in awe of the two of us.
Same, in a beautiful way.
Yes. Okay.
All right, we're coming to the end of our segments. We got one more.
Rolling through.
This was supposed to be a shorter episode, but
Yep.
it's already an hour.
It's long because we can't stop talking.
Yep.
That's me.
I'll edit.
Here we go. We're going on a journey.
Pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets. Perfect.
There we go.
Yep, you got it.
Round 2 was so much better. It's hard to keep all these songs straight.
I know, there's so many of
There's
them.
so many songs, and they are intricate.
Very complex.
Yeah.
A lot of musical intricacies.
You know what? We should have, like, music paper.
Or a songbook.
Yeah.
That just says pizza secrets. Tell me your secrets. Pizza secrets. Thank God we have this.
So you know how I did, like, when we have guests, I had, like, a little welcome sheet for them. I had to write out all the words to all the songs. I need to write one for myself.
Still don't know them.
All right, Grace.
All right, let's
Pizza
fly.
secret.
Let's fly through these.
We're flying.
In honor of the upcoming snowfall, I will tell one of my deepest and darkest pizza secrets.
Ooh.
And just like all of my best pizza secrets, this one involves our friend Max.
Yes.
Who always seems to be there when I would get up to the most trouble.
Max stories are the best stories.
I know. We'll have to have her come on and just tell a whole box of pizza secrets.
Just only pizza secrets.
Yes. Pure
pizza.
secrets. So one day in the winter, Max and I were bored. We were probably in middle school, like 11 or 12. And like always, we decided to get up to some hijinks. I don't know how we came up with this idea. I think it was Max. Sorry, Max.
It definitely. You know what? Yes.
Yes.
You don't even have to say, I think it was Max.
Usually you can assume that I was the troublemaker and instigator in any story unless Max was involved, and then it was her. So we were bored. It was a snow day, and we decided that it would be fun to take a bunch of red food coloring and put it in the snow on the outside of the snowbank, like into the road. We live on like a somewhat busy street. And so we put a bunch of food coloring in the snow, and then we decided to, once a car drove by, make it look like we were falling off of the snowbank into the road and like hitting our heads and bleeding out everywhere, I guess, was the joke. And so,
what a joke. So funny. You're bleeding.
We're comedians. I'm bleeding. So we did exactly that. And we put the food coloring down in the snow, and then a car drove by and we like very dramatically acted like we were like tumbling into the road and like fell down the snowbank and then had our head like land right where this red puddle was. And isn't that funny? To this car, it seems like we died. Children are dead in the
like
road.
Driving by me like, oh my God.
Jesus. Yeah.
A massacre.
The joke is that you think children are dead. And isn't that funny? We did that, tumbled into the street, and then like a few minutes later, we hear an ambulance that's coming down the road. And so we both we like covered up the red really fast.
The evidence.
And we covered it up really quick and like hid behind the snowbank, and the ambulance went past. I don't know if it was called for us, but the timing was really bizarre.
They're like going around asking people, have you seen some dead kids?
Yeah, we heard there was a report of dead children bleeding in the streets.
We're just looking for dead street children.
Yeah, so I don't know to this day, I don't know if that ambulance was for us, but I do remember seeing the driver like did look concerned as they were driving past. So who knows if they called the police. That is my little pizza secret. And isn't that a fun one?
That's great. This is funny. Best holiday pizza secret.
Yeah, I think so. All right, Kristin, what's your pizza secret?
Mine, I'm like I gotta stop telling college stories because people are gonna think I'm a bad person.
No, you just went through a phase. Mine has been lifelong. You went through a phase.
Through a phase of being a bad person, and now I'm okay at best.
Were you being a bad person though? If it's funny,
it was all for the podcast.
Yeah, you knew that in 10 years, we would have this podcast.
I was like, this is gonna be great.
Great content.
In college, I went to a rager of a party right before the holiday break, as one does. It was at my study buddy's house, Joel. Hey, Joel. He doesn't listen. Actually, well, okay. So we call him Joyce because at graduation, they called his name, and instead of saying Joel, they said Joyce. And
I like this huge college graduation walking across
like
the stage.
3,000 students, and he had to like walk across the stage to Joyce, and we've never let it go.
How could we? It's so funny.
It's so funny. So,
what's up, Joyce?
Joyce.
It's a shout out to Joyce.
And he hates us.
Yep.
So I went to Joyce's house. You were there too.
Yes, I was.
You were there. And I also went with my dear friend and roommate at the time, Megan. And this party was like absolutely out of control, kind of due to mostly us. But 3 of us were there. Megan and I went to the bathroom because, safety in numbers, as one does. And so we were in the bathroom, and like the 2 of us at the same time, this is my friend's house, just decide at the same time, we had like a telepathic connection that we, for no reason at all, are going to dump all the shampoos in the bathtub. So we did all the shampoos, the conditioner, shaving cream. We got the toothpaste and squeezed all of it out of the tube.
That's a labor of love.
That is such a labor. we like went through the little cabinet, and like anything that could come out was in the bathtub. And the final thing was, instead of, because it's college, instead of like an overhead light in the bathroom, they just had like a lamp that you plug in. And Megan was like, let's break this lamp. And I was like, too far, Megan.
We've
done
Megan.
Plenty. And then we just like walk out of there like no big deal. And there's like 15 people waiting in line for this bathroom. And we're like, someone peed on the floor because of us because they couldn't wait. Right?
Yeah, they were waiting in the line for the
so
bathroom.
long.
Yeah.
They peed on the floor.
And it was a carpet.
It was a carpet floor. Yeah, it was a lot of stuff happened that night.
Yeah.
Someone else in the bathroom, probably before us, stole what?
The toothbrush holder. Which I think was pretty funny.
That's really funny.
Shitty, but funny. It was like, what a random thing to steal. And I think it's because, I won't name you on here, but you know who you are. She saw it and she was like, oh, I need a toothbrush holder. And just put it in her purse.
Oh my God, don't have a party at your house in college. It's just a bad idea.
Yeah, not to victim blame, but
right.
like, come on, what did you expect from us?
Right. So next day, I have to meet Joyce at the library because, we're study buddies. And so I get there, no big deal. And he's like visibly upset. And he's like, oh my gosh, our house is such a mess. He's like, the bathroom's destroyed. Like, someone took all our shampoos and like dumped it in the tub. They even did it to the toothpaste. You couldn't brush his teeth that morning because he didn't have toothpaste.
Oh.
And I just had to sit there listening, being like, wow, that's terrible. Wow.
Who would do such a thing?
Monster. And I obviously, I needed to study. I couldn't say like, oh yeah, it was me. I was like, I dumped all your toothpaste out for no reason at all. So yeah, I just never told him.
Until now.
Till now. He doesn't listen to this.
Well, he might. He has ADHD.
He does have ADHD.
And also, there were no paper towels to clean up with because you and Megan were wrapping them around my head in the kitchen.
We wrapped you up like a mummy.
Yeah, you wrapped like my whole body in paper towels.
Didn't he walk in on us doing that?
Yes.
And he's like, what are you doing? And we're like, oh.
Isn't this funny?
Nothing to see here.
We're not even doing it to be funny to other people. We're literally just making ourselves laugh.
We just needed activities.
And this is why people don't want us at their parties.
We don't get invited anywhere.
Yeah, as we shouldn't.
Yeah, hide your shampoos
Look
if
how
we come
behave.
over.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a chaotic party,
That
but
was a
you're right.
chaotic
I
party,
think
yeah.
it was chaos because of us.
Because of us. I think we incited most of the chaos. We definitely incited the peeing on the floor incident.
Yeah, we didn't directly do it, but you guys definitely caused it.
Because of us.
Yeah.
Whoops. Sorry.
Yeah.
Pee's really hard to get out of a carpet.
Especially human.
Human pee.
Pizza secret!
That's my pizza secret.
That is a really good pizza secret.
Joyce.
Yeah, he won't listen. And I hope your back's better, Joyce.
Yeah.
That one's just for you.
That's a just Joyce content.
Yeah. Like, oh my God.
That's another pizza secret for a different day.
Yes.
We're transitioning now.
And that's our show for the day.
That's our show. We hope you enjoyed it. Follow us on all the socials. We are on TikTok at Weirds of a Feather. We're on Instagram at Weirds of a Feather. We're on the email.
We are on email. Find us on email. At Weirds of a Feather.
At gmail.com.
Yep. And we will talk to you next week.
Next week, we are doing more holiday stuff. Exciting.
Good stuff.
Oh, get your presents done now.
Oh, yeah.
Get your presents done.
Start looking
right?
for your presents
Start looking for your presents, okay? Don't wait till the last minute. That's not going to be good for you, for your mental health.
You do it every year and you know it. Start now.
I've not started.
I haven't either.
I actually just got my brother a birthday present. When is his birthday? Today.
I mean, you're right on time.
Yeah.
Yep.
I couldn't be more punctual.
Yeah, exactly.
Get your presents.
Get your presents.
Follow us on the socials. We will talk to you next week.
Yep. All right. See ya.
Oh.
Oh. Whoa.
That was aggressive. It's more of a squirrel.
Yeah, I don't know what that. I don't know if the squirrel is
You can
correct.
cut that one out.
No, I think I'll fade it right here.